DreamHack Masters Malmö is brought to you by Aces ROG, HyperX, and Monster Energy.
Group C of the DreamHack Masters Malmö 2017. It is only FaZe and Gambit left standing, and only one of them gets to go ahead and join the boys from NIP in that playoffs. It's very scary for both sides. Of course, we have Gambit losing their leader, but also, of course, lifting the trophy over in Krakow at the most recent Counter-Strike Major. On the other side of things, FaZe went shopping. They opened their wallets and just went for some of the biggest and most exciting names in Counter-Strike. We've got Olaf Meister and Guardian now joining the fray as we wave goodbye to Finn, Alu, and of course the Frenchman Keo, who just can't seem to find a home for long. It's scary. It is indeed. But these guys are my home for the next couple of days. It's at this very desk I am joined by Halvor Vendetta Gullstol, none other than Chad Sponge Birchill. Can't really say that in a funny accent. Maybe I could say it in an Australian one.
You haven't called me Sponge yet.
I know, because I just don't like it. I've got over it.
I want to change my alias.
What are you going to go for?
World Destroyer.
Okay.
What do you reckon?
Yeah, I like
that. We have someone who...
Well,
we have
bombs earlier, World Destroyer now, Chad. You're in a great mood, aren't you?
I'm breaking the trophy. I'm so sorry. And of course, Janko Paunovic on the end there as well. Before, oh, I'm really oh gosh. Okay.
You okay?
I can't be responsible for this anymore.
Seems like the only thing you care about on that trophy is Henry's stamina.
He's well maintained. He's a bit fluffy, but he's all good.
Can we ask FaZe why they're maintaining the clan part? Is this like 2000 or something?
Dude, I think it's kind of cool.
They do come from Call of Duty originally, so...
Yeah, those Muppets.
I mean, what can you say about that?
The FaZe brand is
oh, it's quite gigantic.
Yeah, absolutely it is. And I kind of like the clan.
You do?
I was in a clan in my first... That was my first ever team.
I think they have more...
All your first teams are clans.
Yeah.
I think they have more owners than Belgrade has people in it. It's like every person with a FaZe tag on Twitter is owner of FaZe clan.
Absolutely they are. And maybe these players, if they continue to play, can join them. This is such a weird one. I know actually you guys were talking ahead of this one and you were just saying it's actually kind of hard to analyze and to break down how this is going to go down and why this is going to go down because we don't know that much about...
I was hoping to employ the G2 coin toss method.
These rosters. Which one should we just do coin tosses?
We could.
Each one of us flips and...
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
I only got paper money.
I
don't deal with change.
I only got credit cards.
Maybe we could flip a note. Either way.
I think the reason it's hard, Alex, is because both rosters are new in some sense. Even though we were saying, that, Gambit, they did lift the trophy, they did lose Zeus. That factor is enough alone to potentially be an entire new team. And what we saw against NIP yesterday wasn't anything convincing. If anything, it was like, oh, close games that NIP probably should have closed out a little bit
Gambit
earlier.
could have 2-0'd them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
they could have gotten 2-0 as well.
True. That's how overtime
That's the other side of that coin.
Yeah. Here's the 50-50
Any
once
given
again.
Sunday.
We've got to walk it in or yours.
And FaZe we haven't seen enough of yet to really, be able to make any real hardcore analysis other than floating around, hey, these are the players, these are the roles they might fill out, this is the issues we could have. And
I mean, it's
would have.
Yeah. We've seen them online, right? I mean, Chad, you've been at the Pro League for the majority, so you've actually seen more of FaZe than I have, and maybe you can be the one to explain it all to us, perhaps just what you have seen and what we are learning. I do want to bring up the group first, just to put it into perspective, of course. We say we haven't seen enough. This will show you exactly why. We've seen them play 2 best-of-1s. First, they met none other than the Ninjas. It was on Nuke, and it did not go to plan. Perhaps the veto was part of that fault. And after that, of course, you saw them meet none other than Mouse Sports. New look Mouse Sports, we get to see Sunny joining the fray, and Sticko, of course, from Hellraisers, neither of which worked out for them, and we did get to see FaZe pick up the wins. But this is going to be a true proving ground of just to see, you know, test their mettle and see what they're actually capable of.
I think the cool thing for FaZe coming into this matchup is the day off, right? They can do that whole prep thing they did at Katowice before, where they prepped for the final and they had like a really cool game plan. They can do the same thing here for Gambit. They got to see them play a best of 3 yesterday. They can identify, hey, what's changed in this team since the major? What game plan do we want to go with? What set strategies do we want to actually dry run and have ready and raring to go? That's one of the cool things for FaZe because, hey, they need as many practice days as possible because that's not something they've had a lot of since Olaf has joined the team, and Guardian, obviously.
You're correct, Chad, but that being said, they did practice against VP yesterday 4 maps, so I don't know how much that helps.
Yeah, depends. Maybe they practiced their nuts. Didn't go well for them, of course, in the main tournament. Virtus.pro were the first team eliminated here for DreamHack Masters Malmö. One of these two is actually going to join them in that pile. Yanko, I'm looking at you. Eyes on you as we start walking through FaZe, and it still feels weird to see these players in FaZe jerseys.
Did Guardian spill a drink?
Potentially.
Looks like he's muffing something up.
Such an amateur move from his side.
You never put the orange juice near the mouse pad. It's a
Dude,
sticky situation.
my roommate put a cup of tea on my mouse pad the other day, and I've actually left the house.
When I used to stream,
Forever.
Yeah, I decided to move house. I was like, that's not okay, mate, I'm out.
This is the thing, the girlfriends in the past, they don't get it. They come and they put a drink with condensation on the mouse pad.
Not okay.
Jesus.
It's not okay. Nico,
They think of it as a coaster.
a coaster. Yeah, it
Massive
just looks like
coaster.
it's a really cool coaster with your name on it. Thanks, Darren.
Here's Yanko's boy.
Yeah. Here he is, Mr. Nico. Yanko, you've been talking night and day about what this boy was capable of. He's joined FaZe, and we've seen exactly what kind of, you know, the growth of Nico settling into what could be a roster for quite a while. And outside of that, it seems like you've got the old and the new. World's best player discussion recently, and one of the older, least discussed, Olaf from Meister.
We talked about it the other day. It is just ridiculous that this roster has 3 players who've been regarded as the world's best at some point in time, or were at least in the conversation. All of Meister, Nico, and Guardian, obviously, and then on top of that you have Rain, who was not perhaps in that conversation, but I think everyone regards him as a very, very skilled player, someone every in-game leader loves to have on his team, someone who's super solid, good in clutches, very intelligent, has good game sense, and to top it all off, you have Kerrigan, the in-game leader, right, who's supposed to be the one making all the pieces work. And I think it's very important to know that even with all this individual skill and talent, FaZe still have to play as a team, right? You still can't, they can't just roll with that fanatic type of a run and gun style because they have a lot of firepower. In this day and age of Counter-Strike, it simply will not work against the world's best.
And it actually surprised me last time we were talking about Gambit on the other side of things. However, I want to know, because it was actually your words that stuck with me, when you were talking about how on an individual basis, the Gambit players kept up to their opponents. I think it was NIP
Yeah.
you were talking about. You said actually, you know, man to man, Gambit are individually as strong. And I wanted to know if you can kind of expand upon that, because to me that sounds kind of preposterous. Yeah, could you walk us through as we have the names on screen?
I mean, even though they're not the flashiest names ever, they're still incredibly skilled individual guys, and they've kind of showcased that. Mo especially so far in this tournament, and for the better part of 6 months, we've seen what Adren has been able to do. Probably like a top 5 player in all of Europe actually during that stint for Gambit. It's just been that good. And then you've seen Hobbit as well having his moments on quite a consistent basis too. So there's definitely not a lack of firepower. It's just, I think it's just undervalued by the masses more than anything else.
Chad, would you agree with Vendette's statement?
Yeah, I think like Hobdog, he's a bit of a weird one, right? Like he just kind of came out of nowhere. They had him on loan for a while, and then he was just putting up, you know, good
Numbers.
performances and lots of frags. And this is when the team started to look more and more dangerous. Obviously, the major was above anybody's expectations for this squad, I would definitely have to say.
Their own.
Yeah, and I think that they have talented players. It's just now that they've lost the leader. You know, we talk about Zeus as a very talented in-game leader, but the leader part is the bit that sticks out, is that he was the guy, you know, actually being that general. And not in the sense of potentially just being like a harsh kind of guy to the players if they're making mistakes, but he can rally the troops, that kind of stuff. Who's going to fill that void? None other than Adren. He's doing the in-game leadership role now, and I think that's important to note. He is a very tenured player. He comes from the 1.6 days. He's been playing Counter-Strike for a very long time, has been able to play under a lot of experienced in-game leaders. It's going to be interesting to see if he can make his impact within that role now and still be one of the best fraggers in the squad. And you mentioned Mo at the start there. He's the one who's stood out so far this event, I think.
Yeah.
You know, he's been consistent and he's putting up good big numbers and he's getting a lot done with the AWP, which is something which he was criticized for probably 6 months ago, probably by myself, actually. I wasn't too impressed by how consistent he was with that ult, but now it's getting better and better. He's looking like more of a threat, and he's coming into his own.
It's going to be opening against Guardian as well. It's just
That'll be fun.
Going to be a lot of fun. Maps will determine where those AWPers will clash alongside the rest, and we can see already that eliminations have gone down. It's bye-bye Cobble, courtesy of FaZe Clan.
Standard ban from them so far.
Overpass this time. Gambit, they played it just last time.
It's very interesting for them not to go for nuke. I think this is where FaZe would have probably expected the nuke ban and went for the Mirage pick. Now with nuke open, it's interesting to see what they go for. Yeah, they go for Mirage regardless, simply because they did their preparation for that map and don't want to get thrown away by nuke still being in the pool. For Gambit on the other side of things, it gets a bit more interesting. Do they go for Train? Because they had that great performance versus Mousesports in their opener, despite losing to NIP, that might be a very strong pick for them. Cash is another one, but do you really want to play Cash against a star-studded FaZe lineup where individual skill can be used much more? And they do decide to go for Train. I think in the second veto phase they will ban nuke. FaZe removes Cash themselves, and that leaves Inferno.
Nuke.
Inferno as the decider, I think.
So why a Gambit? Just of nuke? Okay.
No,
they decide to leave it in yet again.
What was your thought process about Gambit saying no to nuke?
Because they haven't been that good on it, even with Zeus. Yes, they have played that map. It was in their pool, but nothing too impressive. And FaZe was one of the best teams in the world on nuke, alongside VP, alongside NIP, Astralis, North, right? FaZe was definitely up there. And sure, they have a new lineup, players who are not used to playing nuke as much. Olofmeister, for one, hasn't played a lot in Fnatic. Guardian in Navi also very limited, and we saw how they had communication issues in their opener against NIP. But I don't think Gambit can replicate the T side of NIP, so I'm very surprised to see it left in the pool.
It's interesting, and I guess that this is where the point that Chad brought up about preparation might come into play, because first off, FaZe has been confident enough to at least let NIP get nuked through in their first best of one, and they were also leaving it open in their second best of one yesterday. So there's that, like, they still feel like they have confidence in it, and on Gambit's end, they could have gone through that NIP demo, seen that there's actually, well, there were definitely things to exploit on the side of FaZe, especially a very timid CT side, for instance. And that's something that they feel like they can work on. Same thing with going back to Train, for instance, even though they didn't have a good showing versus NIP in their best of three. It was pretty evident as to where the glaring mistakes were for Gambit on that end. So maybe they feel like the prep that they've been able to do from their series yesterday, that's going to be enough to come in prepared well enough to deal with FaZe today.
Now we have to start working out some reasons and some rhyme to work out exactly who's going to be winning this best of three. Won't be coming back between maps. Now, which one of you guys stepped up to the plate and decided to give us 3 reasons why?
That would be me.
Okay.
And I'll give you 3 reasons as to why FaZe are going to make it to the arena.
Okay. Now, I'm sure a lot of fans are going to be holding onto their hats for this one.
Yeah. So to start things off and kind of state the obvious, is that the player quality on the lineup of FaZe is just a notch above. And this is, again, nothing to discredit the Gambit lineup, but it's simply a case of, well, FaZe pretty much getting a star-studded, dream lineup on the roster, and that's what they're working with from now on. Just pound for pound, they're a better team from an individual point of view, and luckily they've gone through the trials and tribulations for the most guys in this team in the past, where they've experienced with the run and gun methods. They've seen that it's not going to take you to the stars. So they've opted to go for a more strategical approach, which has granted them a lot of success as of late. And I think that's going to be a reason why they're going to be able to still be successful. As another lead into that, I think it's also fair to mention that they do have the edge. Kerrigan having the edge as a tactical edge, seeing how Zeus went back to Navi after the major win. So even though they have Adren stepping in the role as an in-game leader, they might still have the same system in place as was initially implemented. It's still not going to be the same because you do not have that same general on the battlefield as you did in the past. And for my third reason, there's room to make mistakes for FaZe here. This is a best of 3. It's not a best of 1 anymore. So even though they get off to a rough start, there's plenty of time for these star-studded players to actually get into their groove and make up for whatever mishap they have when they potentially get off to a wrong start. So lots of wiggle room for FaZe to mess up and still just let that player quality and tactical edge shine through in the end.
Yeah. Okay. Halvor, you seem to be setting quite the good case, solid case when it comes to just naming talent. It does sound like the players are actually starting the 9th round now, so that means we get to have the fun and games of seeing if anyone's going to go against the FaZe clan. Yanko, we'll work our way towards myself from you.
Yeah, no, I'm going to go with FaZe, especially after seeing the map, Vito. Them getting both Mirage and Nuke into the pool. I think those were two of their strongest maps even before Train. Again, they're not slouches on that map either, so I'm going for FaZe.
2-0?
2-1.
Okay, getting to see Nuke, as you did state. Chad, how about you?
I'm going for FaZe. They got nothing to lose here. Obviously, there's a lot of pressure on this star-studded roster, but I think they're going to come out swinging. Hopefully, they don't play scared Counter-Strike, and Mirage is a map where they can start free, get the ball rolling, go from there. I'm going to go 2-0. Nice, quick, easy win. Easy
life for FaZe. How about you, Halvor? You've already said FaZe are going to take it to the arena, but, I mean, do we see a third?
Sadly, I do not think we see a third. As much as I want to see Gambit succeed right out the gate, because I really, really like how they play Counter-Strike, or actually how they did. So, you know, if they can continue on that path, I really like to see them being successful. I still think it's going to be a 2-0 for FaZe. I think, again, no slouches on Chain. I think it's, you know, where on one side, if it goes to third map, Guardian and Olofmeister hasn't played it as much. Still a competent team on it. Guardian and Olaf definitely have played a lot of Train. So I think that's just going to add to the strength of FaZe.
I mean, it is an incredibly scary prospect to be considering doubting FaZe. In fact, I will join this bandwagon as we do ride merrily into the sunset. 4 for FaZe from us.
I wonder who Anders is going to pick.
There are some other voices that you will be hearing. In fact, you've heard, one of them has been introduced already. We have a school teacher and an angry father.
All right.
Side. Gentlemen.
That's new.
The Creamy Bears.
Creamy Bears, Jesus Christ.
Guys, still trying to force that issue.
Gambit have just had the Puppet Master who was pulling all the strings taken away from them. Do you really think that they're going to take FaZe? Talk to me.
I mean, it's so tempting when everyone goes FaZe when we do Gambit. Like, I just want to do it. It's like, it's one of those things, but...
You're just an asshole, aren't you? At this point?
I just feel like, but no, I don't see it happening. I think it's going to be FaZe as well.
Well, I look forward to you telling us that story. It sounds like you've got to go do your thing. Sorry, Jason, you talk. We're going to disappear.
Yeah, it's cool. See you later. Yeah, I think I'd go to FaZe as well. I think that's kind of the safe bet. Although I think this matchup, I just mentioned it to you before they came to us, that I think this matchup will be a little bit different in like 2 months. I think this can be a very close affair. I think this FaZe roster, when they have a little bit more time, a little bit, Kerrigan gets a little bit more of a chance to work with them, I think this would be a little bit more widespread. I think it's going to start becoming more and more FaZe heavy as time goes on. But here, there's a chance, because they're still a little bit weakened. Gambit themselves, we've talked about a number of times with the Dren as the in-game leader, Fitch coming in, they're a little bit getting used to a new roster also.
Yeah, what really pains me about that situation is just the drop for Adren as an individual. Because he was so consistent throughout the major and even before that. So
yeah, he was sick, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Ever since DreamHack winner last year, he's just been a god.
So it was really painful, I think, to watch that. Now, we are just almost getting into the game. I've got a serious question. Where are you on squiggly eyebrows, Moses? Do you think that's going to be a trend?
I hope not. Just as context, brought up a tweet that said that experts say that squiggly eyebrows are going to be a new fashion trend coming up into the future. And God, please no, if that picture is anything to do with what we'll be seeing in that situation, that's the real apocalypse. The real end of the world there.
You're not into it, all right.
I wouldn't mind seeing you with squiggly eyebrows, though. Maybe that's a bet we could make in the future. Get away from the pies, go to squiggly eyebrows.
Shave my eyebrows and draw some squiggles up there. All right, maybe. I'm not going to rule that out. That could be a thing.
All right.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're almost ready here. It's Gambit versus FaZe in a best-of-3 elimination match again. Loser goes out, winner goes right into the playoffs here. So we're going to be on Mirage headed up first. And everybody is on the FaZe side this time. That's interesting. That's exciting.
Yes, we're all together. We're all aligned. We can all still be mates no matter what happens. Yes. We'll either celebrate or be in misery together, which is always fun. And FaZe right off the bat, typical A, execute Kerrigan and Guardian with the smokes, the flashes. They're going to plume over at the A bomb site. It's that wall to block off jungle and stairs. You can see a Dren. He's got to push through if he wants to make something happen, and that flashbang follow-up is perfect. But Fitch opens things up with a ranged headshot.
It's a really great way to get started. That's going to make the retake a lot easier. And he gets one more before he finally gets taken down by Olofmeister. Great work from Fitch, but Mo's going to be going down next in line. Olof doing more damage, and look at the take of CT spawn. This is so smart from FaZe. Olof getting another kill in, making it a triple. He's now alone and has to go for the ace clutch here to win the pistol. He's got the USP out and is tapping away. They're going to give up on the defuse and go and hunt him down. And that works. Gambit making it happen, even if they lost the CT spawn control. Great play.
We've mentioned that CT spot on these pistol rounds are so critical. That's why you see FaZe. That first flashbang blinds Adren, makes sure he can't push through the smoke. The second flashbang blinds them in CT spawn to allow them to push and get aggressive. That's huge, but I mean, Fitch just does enough. That first kill is great that he gets, adds in one more as they turn the corner, and then even Adren trading 1 for 1 here. So just barely holding onto that and making it doable. Olaf with too much at the end in a 1-on-2. And actually an early timeout from FaZe. I'm wondering if that's technical or tactical? Tactical, I guess it would be.
Yeah, probably would be.
On the second round?
That's
new?
I don't think we've seen that before, no. Not this quick. There wasn't even like some sort of, you know, really bad situation that they had to, like, no one tried to knife someone else and the rest of the team had to calm them down.
No tilting issues going on that we saw?
No, you'd have to think not, but fair enough then. I mean,
it's crazy too, because usually as an in-game leader, you have some kind of a plan when you go into a game, right? Where you at least have like the first 4 or 5 rounds, like up to the first gun round is pretty much mapped out in your head. So it is kind of interesting if they're switching something up, but maybe just talking it over, making sure everyone knows not to buy in that second round.
Dren being aggressive. I really like this. I mean, you sympathize with him because being the leader and also, you know, being free to play the way that you want, not have to worry about everyone else, is obviously very difficult.
Right.
But if he can do that somehow, if he can find that within him, this could be a different game.
It really could, but also the guy that we've seen step it up massively since the Dren shifted there has been Mo. He was a force throughout the early stages of this event. He has been with that AWP Hobbit as well. We all know what he can do. This has been, even with the switch up in that role and then Fitch coming into this roster, this has been a pretty solid looking Gambit. It's not like they've, you know, seemingly, we've seen teams in the past and changes of leadership just seem like they've become crippled as a squad, as a unit. And Gambit doesn't seem to have fallen into that. This is a nice anti-eco as well. There's not a whole lot of danger on the FaZe side of things. No deagles bought up, no armor, just, you know, Olaf had a flash and a smoke. So Gambit doing a great job of containing this, although a TK comes in right at the end.
There's got to be space for a little bit of banter every once in a while, Moses. So getting Mo shot down, why not?
Here's the AKs though, Anders. Get the plant in that first round, you don't buy anything in the second round, and now you've got a pretty solid buy. 5 AKs across the board. You've got 3 smokes to work with, 4 flashbangs, so plenty that this lineup of talented players can do with what they're bringing to bear.
And that UMP and the MP9 on the other side, that makes you really worried, doesn't it? Because that's going to be a bit tricky. Although I say that, Hobbit will win the fight against Olafmeister in middle, who didn't have any backup. And that fight happened so early that the push that's coming into A is just going to be a bit late. Fitch going to be picking up the kill on Carrigan. And suddenly things are looking a bit strange here for FaZe, although he will get caught eventually. Nico with a good headshot. And now Adren wants to get closer with the MP9. He sort of has to, but Guardian takes him down. And now it's a 2-on-3.
This has been a very, very discombobulated round. It seemed like FaZe was a little bit loose with Olaf getting picked off and Carrigan just kind of coming out Palace and getting mowed down. But then equally, Gambit throws it right back in. I'm getting overextended, trying to chase down with some of these flashbangs with the SMGs, trying to get those SMGs into close range. And that's where you can really see the skill. Nico with 3 quick kills, Guardian with 1 as well. When you get into open space against this FaZe roster, it's always going to be dangerous. Everyone can duel. Doja in a 1-on-3, seeing if he can find anyone. Does get a kill, but that Molotov isn't going to spread to stop the bomb plant. He's got a chance here if he can pick Guardian off in this bomb site.
Very difficult when you're this low on health. If you just had 1 grenade to put on Guardian, then it would almost instantly be a 1v1. And actually, the shots are coming through. It's incredibly close here for Dojan. He's doing the very best that he can. Spots out Guardian, but can't get the kill. Will be triple for Nico, double for Guardian, and FaZe picking up the first round, even after a very bad start there.
A really bad start, really, really tough. But this is also, I think, why they picked Mirage to a certain degree, because we saw him on it yesterday. This is a map where obviously you can find spaces, and this is probably the most comfortable we've seen this new lineup look is on this map when you can start spreading out the defense, when you give Olafmeister a gap towards connector, when you give someone like Nico or Rain, when they can find that opening in the defense to make some progress on the map. They've been very, very deadly, and you could see it in that previous round as well. Now they have to go up against the AWP of Mo.
Yeah, but look at the rest of the buy for Gambit.
Right, 2 CZs.
It is very interesting, isn't it? Just a big risk to be taken here. Oh, he wanted to take that shot, but he's not going to be able to. We'll have to fall back, so still alive, but What a risk.
You know what's pretty interesting as well is that I think it was on Overpass we mentioned this, that Fitch was playing so alone. He was like the player anchoring bathrooms on Overpass just the other day. Well, even on this map, they left him alone at that A bomb site for the first 30 seconds while Mo takes that pick and window. So a lot of confidence in the new guy. And I think the real struggle now for this defense is 1 minute left in the round. They've got no nades left, no Molotovs, no smokes to stop these choke points. So it's all winning duels from here.
Some of those duels are not going to be easy when you have CCs against AKs, although Adren will take one. Fitch goes down, and Doja's better come up big. They're all around him. Olofmeister taking him down easily, and Mo has to save the AWP any way that he can. Given how good Mo has been with this rifle, you sort of can understand why they'd want to do something like this, but he just wasn't in position to really get the kills.
It's tough. We've mentioned it a couple times, is if you're going to go mid with that AWP on Mirage, you're just always going to be smoked out, right? That window room was consistently kept smoked, and you could see he didn't really have any angle to be impactful early on and find that pick. And then FaZe right at the end, even hunting it down, stealing the op away for Guardian. He's going to be happy. Free AWP. Olaf with the MAC-10 looking to farm up against this unarmored Gambit lineup. They only have USPs. One flashbang. That's going to be on Fitch, and he's over towards the A site. Perhaps throw that over the wall at some kind of a timing.
Not a bad idea. I like these setups, even if they don't work that often. I still think it's better than doing nothing. Olofmeister, that MAC-10 looking for as many kills as possible. He only gets the one. That's a shame. That
is a shame, but it's a pretty quick round nonetheless. Gambit getting it over with, flashbang and just rushing up middle. Now we get back into the buys. I don't think, Mo has an M4, so there's not going to be an AWP on the CT side. See that, I mean, just the fact that he was the only one with that op and they were willing to buy around it, how much they like having that on him. And there it is, Kerrigan as well, the in-game leader, dropping an AK over to Olofmeister. He takes the Tech 9 for this round, so you imagine you'll see Kerrigan lead the way, being a little bit of aggressive, but no, it's actually through mid. Spam coming in, Mo's not having any fun with that, and Adren can hold down the fort. There's even a player coming from underpass, that's Hobbit. The smoke, he finds a kill around the edge, and he's going for more.
Oh, this is not bad at all for Gambit. Looked like it was about to completely unravel, but done a very good job, although close range. Guardian to take down Fitch. He was just turning around for that, so could have gone the other way. Great grenade from Mo to shut down Nico up in the apartments. And that leaves Kerrigan and Guardian headed towards the B bomb side. Kerrigan has got to start walking, otherwise Hobbit, he will have heard it. He definitely knows what's up, so Kerrigan giving away some of the game, and they have more than a minute, so I don't know why Kerrigan is being this loud. That's an easy kill for Hobbit, and now Guardian is just in a weird spot here.
Yeah, the only explanation can really be just misreading the situation.
Yeah.
Is just thinking maybe someone's rotated away from the B bomb so that there's not going to be anyone there because he gives up everything, and now Guardian just all alone, isolated by the Molotov, almost wins that with the CZ. And then you never know with the op and the follow-up, but nice round from Gambit. 3 players going mid very quick, attempting to split that A bomb site, and just enough of a presence to hold him back. Adren initially and Connector and Hobbit, I think, coming up from the underpass to slow him down. So all tied up 3-3. Still, money's not built up on the Gambit side, so they're in danger of being reset. FaZe has everything they could possibly want, but we might get that op-on-op battle. Mo again going towards window. He's not going to be smoked out. It's just at the basic catwalk at the moment.
That's a very confusing round in my mind, at least.
Yeah.
There's 2v3 with a minute left. You could easily do that.
Especially when Guardian has the AWP, right? Give him some time. You know that the CTs are going to want some information. Let him try and find some picks. Regardless, I think the plan was kind of have so much attention on middle that, I mean, that's where you gave Nico and Guardian over towards the bomb site. That's where they're like the playmakers, right? All the attention is going to be on mid, and they'll be able to find 1 or 2 kills on that A bomb site as attention is shifting. I think they weren't able to make it happen just at the right moment, though.
Mo and Fitch having a bit of a relocate over at the A bomb site. And Fitch is going to be playing once against Under Shadow, and Mo's got the AWP back there. So this is just another classic Mirage situation where this works out fine if Mo can stay active when the smokes go down. But if Fitch is going to be playing alone and all the smokes are going to have everyone else blocked off, it's going to get really tricky. Molotov goes in first, which is always a fun idea if you can Molotov out that triple box. I'm not sure they were quite able to, or even the sandwich, but
just a small, I mean, this is cool. A small execute to get the counter nades out, and now they go for the full one. You can see Gambit was starting to lean over, and Mo's going to get in front of the smokes.
This is really smart. Oh, but Guardian reads it so well. I think it's a nice idea for Mo to do that. Fitch goes down, and Nico's next. All the headshots starting to rain in here. Dren never stood a chance. Dozier and Hubbard should be walking away from this. Instead, they're going to run into rain.
That happens so quick, doesn't it? Just one kill comes out and everything collapses. Great execute from FaZe. Smokes fire everywhere. And yeah, that Mo play, you could see he wants to get in front of those smokes because he doesn't want Fitch to be isolated. He wants to get in on the action. Unfortunately, Guardian's got the angle just waiting for that peek, and Dozier can do nothing but try and get a couple exit kills. He's going to want to keep onto this gun, though, if he can. Rain and Guardian about the challenge, and are they going to be aware that he's slinking away through the underpass? Kerrigan's wrapping up around behind him, so I'm not sure if he actually has a chance of getting away, and that's going to be an easy kill for the FaZe captain. It's going to be a 4th, and as I said, that's the economic reset as well. Money's going to be a little bit beat up on the Gambit side, but right off the bat, Mo with the dualies.
Is this serious? Like, why? Why not the Deagle? Why not the CZ? Moses,
maybe it's
help me out.
Maybe it's a mispie.
It's got to be. Maybe it's like a tribute to Get Right. Just
it could be that
nod,
as well.
Just like saying, you know, this isn't going to do anything, but just want to shout out to my man.
It's my homie. Yeah, he's playing it close up on her balcony, so I guess maybe it's an idea if they were getting at range, but yeah. I think you'd be better off with, like you said, a CZ, a Deagle, something else. But regardless, I think it just could be hitting the wrong key. Either way, they're at a disadvantage. Whether he has dualies or whether he had a CZ, they'd still be at a massive disadvantage in this round. And FaZe slowly progressing across the map, being very cautious of any kind of aggression out of the Gambit side of things. And they have seen nothing. There are a couple of flashbangs on the Gambit side. Adren and Fitch each have one of those. Adren just uses his towards mid, so maybe praying that this is going to end up being a hit towards the A bomb site, so Fitch has a flashbang at close A ramp. And they might get lucky.
It actually feels like it. If Adren can win even one fighting connector here, then maybe it'll slow down things just enough. Dozier's there, and Adren with a headshot taking down Kerrigan. That's one hell of a start. Flashbang goes in. Dozier is down, but look at the clock. 40 seconds here. Fitch goes down to Guardian. That's a really critical shot coming out of the AWPer, and they will win the fight against Adren. Finally, Hobbit is there, and he goes down, and now Mo has picked up an AK instead of the dualies. Definitely an upgrade, and he's got the perfect timing for it here. 30 seconds. They just came in this way. They have no idea that he's going to be there. There they are, wide in front of him, and he sprays them down. Mo with the double kill to save the round.
That's such a good play from Mo. And this is actually a little bit of an oversight on the FaZe side of things. This happened the last time they executed at the A-bomb site, and it didn't really come back to haunt them, but they haven't sent anyone Palace. This time it was 3 players coming up ramp and 2 players in middle, and Mo just pushes through A Palace and gets right behind him and finds the perfect timing. A little bit unfortunate for FaZe, but they've got to find someone who wants to take up that mantle of lurking those Palace during the executes in that bomb site. See, this round they've put Rain there. It is a shame we didn't get to see the dualies whatsoever.
I'm glad we didn't. I think dualies are a worse decision than squiggly eyebrows.
Do you really?
I think it's worse. I'd rather have squiggly eyebrows. Setting up for another execute towards the A-bomb site, and again, this is so easily read on the minimap. Like every time you see this formation on the minimap, you know what's coming next. The question is, if Gambit can hold it back, and are they going to try and challenge it or just play for the retake? You can do either one, because retaking a bomb site is very manageable if you're on the CT side and you know what you're doing. Looks like Fitch is already falling back from the smoke, although Mo is going to pick up the kill on Rain, and that's a good start already. 4 versus 5 in the bomb. Not quite going down yet. Guardian is sort of waiting a bit for it. There's finally a kill coming. Guardian is dropped as well, and it's all falling apart here. FaZe get the bomb site, no problem, but they just can't put the bomb down ever.
I think Mo gets that initial kill through the smoke. Regardless, though, I mean, you could see FaZe, Kerrigan wanted to be aggressive on that one. He just didn't have the timing for it. Like, the flashbang comes out, it forces Mo back to an awkward angle. Oh, that's sick. It's right over the smoke.
How
dirty.
At what point, is it a team or an individual decision whether or not you fight for the bomb site if you're on the CT side there? Like, you know the smokes are coming down, so how do you know when to do what? It's
a team, and usually it'll probably be someone Fitch, you know, will be the one to call out based off what he's seeing, based on where he's positioned to say this is the retake, because he's the anchor. So, you know, if he's in the site, he kind of has to just fight for it regardless. But if he's far enough back to fall away, and he knows, especially like earlier in the round, if Mo's, you know, towards window with that AWP, you just kind of have that sense this is going to be the round that we retake and then we give it up.
Well, Dozier playing that angle very well. He was actually sort of pre-firing it. I think he was baiting him in with the first couple of shots, and then he just walked right into it, so that was pretty cool. Well played on Doja. A nice triple and a 6-4 scoreline. Right now, I'm pleasantly surprised by what Gambit is showing us.
I am as well, and it's also a little bit equally disappointed in kind of what FaZe is showing us, because what we saw yesterday on Mirage was FaZe doing that mid control, getting people in position. They weren't doing as many just heavy straight up executes onto the A bomb site. They were doing that kind of like that very confusing and difficult to manage style of Counter-Strike where you use some tactic to get people in position, and then you trust in their individual decision making. We're not seeing that here out of them, and Gambit is handling the executes pretty well, all things considered.
They are doing a really good job. And Fitch was just down towards the A ramp, checking that out and getting some information. So that allows for more of a mid presence. In fact, 3 members of Gambit sort of holding mid from different angles. That's pretty powerful.
Very, very powerful. Doja now rotating over towards Catwalk as well. Got to be careful with the smoke timings. They're able to do this as well because Mo is so far pushed up into those B halls. He's got all the information. That can be deadly later on in the round. FaZe has no idea. He's essentially cut the map in half.
And there's the Dren getting a kill. Doja tapping away towards Delpan and taking down Rain. 4 versus 3 here, and it's so terrible when someone like Mo is that far pushed up, because it's one thing that Gambit have all this information, but FaZe don't even know that this is happening, so they're just playing sort of half blind at the moment. They're going to find out any second, and they're not going to be pleased. Mo, easy shot on Olofmeister. Would have been embarrassing if he had missed it. Fitch is playing close with the MP9. Going to be right around the corner. Nico, there for the timing. Fitch, can he actually make this work? He will win the fight against Nico. Now Kerrigan in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, a lot of trouble. It's an understatement here. He's got nothing to do. 15 seconds on the clock. Not even going to win that initial fight with Fitch, who, as we mentioned, he's been having a pretty good game.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people had some question marks come up when he was the one that was announced to join this roster as well. Just saying, you know, is he actually going to be able to fill the shoes? Is he actually going to be able to contribute? And he's doing a great job, especially in the tough positions, as we said, anchoring bomb sites all by himself.
I think anytime if you play someone like Zeus in a team, just imagine how miserable a position that is to be in. You know, anytime you don't just have like a horde of people hating you, you've probably done a good job. And I actually think Fitch has been impressing people, so that's quite something.
The barometer for success is not being entirely hated.
Oh yeah, exactly. I mean, what else can you do, right? Obviously, what they need is not just someone who can frag well, but they really need like a tactical replacement for Zeus, which is not easy. Doja and Mo picking up some good kills in this round, and right now FaZe not that much to show for it here. They really only have pistols, so gonna be an 8th round for Gambit.
I think the tough part now for FaZe is you're starting to see Gambit get their legs under him in this game. Like, start feeling really confident, start being a little bit more comfortable taking fights, taking duels. Saw in the last round, and they have 3 players watching towards mid. That's a nice shot with the deagle.
Yeah, it's hiding behind the television.
Doja never saw it coming. But yeah, that's going to be the struggle now. FaZe has to kind of teach him a lesson, right? You have to put them back in their place. You have to earn the respect enough to gain the space to execute, to get players in middle. And it seems at the moment Gambit's going to be more than willing to be aggressive, to be challenging constantly in middle. Oh.
Well then.
More of that would be nice.
Part of the issue here, and this is what's such a shame, is that there's only 30 seconds, so Nico sort of has to just sort of run for it and be out in the open, right?
Yeah.
If he had 1 minute and 20 seconds, he probably could have played that game for a while, but those were beautiful shots. Not enough to actually make a difference, though. It will be moving into the 13th round here. What really worries me is that, to my mind, this is the side of the game where FaZe is supposed to be doing very well on the T side, right?
Yes.
So I'm a bit scared for FaZe on this first map.
It's been 5 straight for Gambit. This has been a very, very nice run out of them. Not a whole lot of weaknesses that we've seen in those 5 rounds. They've handled A executes playing retake. They've handled mid very well a couple of times.
Look at that money too. Significant amount on the board. Everybody above 5,000, some even above 8.
And look at Mo, again, pushing into A Palace. He's about to get in a duel with Rain, and there it is. That's an awkward angle. Mo never sees it coming, so a good find from Rain. Getting a little bit too comfortable, perhaps, is Mo, but you don't mind the idea. It worked on the other side of the map just previously.
Yeah, I would call that a calculated risk. But now the problem is that does put a lot of pressure on the rest of the team. Now, is someone else going to pick up the mantle and try and go and bring it back, or are they just going to wait?
Well, you can see the shift as well. All 4 players are grouping up to take mid control. They want to at least find out what's here, and this is where they want to win or lose the round. And now that they're going to find no one here, Doja and Fitch going to push up. They can have someone go for a quick flank, but they've got to get back and shore up this A bomb site. If they can just hold and delay how long it takes FaZe to gain this bomb site, that's where these flanks come in. This is great. I love this from Gambit. Man down, you find the information, you get aggressive elsewhere. Now you can rotate and adjust. And even though it's a little bit late, you still have a very good chance of taking this bomb site back.
They can stay alive right now. Doja's going to be for the flank, but Olofmeister's also in middle, so essentially a double flank scenario coming in with 20 seconds on the clock. Dren goes down, Carrigan with an important kill, and Fitch drops as well. Olofmeister is a bit quicker on the flank than Doja is, and the problem is the rest of Gambit is pretty much gone here, so Rain is going to get the kill with the Molotov, and the headshot on Doja as well. Triple kill for Rain, surviving on 7 health, and that will be finally a good round there for FaZe. That could have worked out a number of ways.
Yeah, no, I feel bad because, I mean, obviously it doesn't work, but that's very cool to watch from Gambit, is that them shifting across the minimap like that when you see all 4 dots converging on middle, and then obviously just getting back to the A bomb site right after the smokes plume is a bit unfortunate, but it's Kerrigan and Olofmeister who still have to get aggressive. Olaf on the flank, Kerrigan towards CT spawn, and once they win those 2 battles, the flanks really, really lose their impact. Still good idea all around from Gambit. Calculated aggression from Mo, and you even had the follow-up in case it fails. Again, though, FaZe just straight up lining up for that A hit. They have Guardian over at the B bomb site with the AWP, perhaps looking for one pick, and here it comes.
And the boost coming in, Hobbit standing on top of Guardian and looking into the B hallways.
Countered, and Fitch again, this is him, the general of the A bomb site, just saying retake, and with those 2 picks, retaking the A bomb site is going to be easy. You're fine allowing a plant if it comes to that. Adren even finding a gap in the smoke. That's dangerous.
Oh, he feels like he knows. He's up on top, dropping Carrigan, who was trying to plant the bomb. Nico there for the refrag, but it might have been too late. Rain gets a headshot, but Fitch is there, not letting him escape, and now Nico surrounded. No chance at all. He's going to go down. They're going to save both the AWPs, and it will be 9-5 moving into the 15th round.
Gambit's done such a great job on the CT side of I mean, we even saw it on the pistol round, right? Where they're getting kills as the hits coming into this A bomb site, and that allows playing retake to be so much more effective. If you just whittle it down to, even if it's just one person, you feel so much more comfortable giving up the bomb site, giving the plant away, and just having a man advantage. And at times, they're even getting more than that, as we saw in the previous round. They get 2 kills before the bomb site is even really lost.
Just a great job. I love that boost over on B.
Yeah, I figured you do love those tricky boosts, don't you?
Listen, I put it in the video and people laugh at me. So I'm glad someone's doing it. It makes me happy all over. Still heavy mid presence here for Gambit. We've seen people play this differently on the CT side, right? Some teams now almost give up all mid control on CT side Mirage, but I'm kind of happy that Gambit are willing to stay there and stay fighting. 3 different angles. So if FaZe wanted to show up and fight for this mid control, just imagine how many smokes they'd have to use to even do that.
It'd have to be over a long period, right? Like the smokes go up initially, and then you have to re-smoke certain spots, and you obviously can't do all of them. There's a lot of utility used over towards the A bomb, so there's smoke wall set up for jungle, but Fitch is so close to A ramp that he has the information. This is an awkward position for Hobbit. I think trying to get a quick flank going, and it's going to get punished. They think this is a B hit. They think this is a complete fake. Well, FaZe has him fooled.
Adren is about to discover in a very bad way that that's not the case. Olofmeister's coming up the stairwell from Connector. He's going to show himself an instant headshot, and now he's going to call it in. Doja goes down. Fitch with 1 good shot. If he could transfer it quick enough, maybe he could save the round. He's trying to do it, and actually somehow through the box will take down Guardian, but he needs to stay alive. It leaves Mo in a 1 versus 3. Bomb will be going down here, and Mo, as soon as he makes any noise, they're going to realize where he is. And there's the drop. Rain will have heard it. I don't think he can even do much to even make it a sort of a 2v1 or something like that. Even that will be difficult.
Rain's just been using the sound cues that whole time as well, just hunting him down. Rain ends at the top of the scoreboard for FaZe, 15-11 for him. So it was a good start to the half for FaZe. They went up 4-3, but then it was all Gambit from there. They really clamped down. They got control of mid. They never really gave it up, and they handled everything FaZe threw at them. So great CT half for Gambit when it was starting to look a little bit dicey. Team effort on their side as well. Mo and Fitch and Doja all at 13 and 12 kills, and then Adren at 10. So no one really dropping the ball too much.
I agree, and
I thought Fitch was very impressive at that A-bomb site.
yeah, especially as we talked about being a new player in and getting all that responsibility and, you know, sort of playing. I think he was playing a lot of different roles. Some of the time he was just holding CT spawn, but he was very aggressive towards the A ramp too. He seemed to be able to do a little bit of everything, actually.
It's tricky being the A-side anchor on Mirage, because if you get caught between ideas, like if you ever are trying, like waffling between what decision, what style
Yeah.
you want to play, and you're caught in that bomb site, and then all of a sudden you can be surrounded. You can have, you know, hit from, you know, A ramp, from Palace, and from Connector all at once, and that's where it can be very uncomfortable. But he never really seemed like he felt out of place. Never really seemed like he got into that kind of danger.
Second half coming up here. It is still the first map of the best of 3, and FaZe have got 6 rounds. Now, if they can pick up the pistol here and get that AWP on Guardian, maybe even another one if they wanted on Wolof or Nico or Carrigan even, it doesn't really matter. They've got lots of options. Could be pretty lethal as well. See how they do with the USPs. Nico's holding very close. I'm not always a fan of this position in the pistol, just because one flashbang like this and you might get run over. Fitch to open up and taking down Nico, and Rain is very low on health as well. And they're pushing forward Gambit. They know they've spotted the weakness, and Guardian walks right into it. Fitch catching Carrigan as he comes through the aptly named murder hole, and it's Rain on Olofmeister left in just an enormous amount of trouble. Olof doing his best, and it's quite good, getting a couple of headshots. Don't challenge him. There's no point in fighting him now. He's in this mood. Just leave him alone. Give him time to cool off. Fitch is going to go down. Oh my god. Olofmeister. This is why you just want to leave him alone. He's going to put up the smoke. He has the kit, and now he's inside trying to go for the defuse. Rain doing his best to cover him. Olofmeister, 1 second left. Oh my god! He's going to win the round for FaZe. That's absolutely disgusting. And he gets the quad kill as well.
You said it. Don't challenge him. He's in that mood, and he single-handedly wins that pistol round. That was all Gambit that entire time. You can see the difference. If you don't get those pickoffs as the defense, as they enter that A bomb site, there's just a swarm of Glocks. That spin was phenomenal. Great shot here. Even the presence of mind to go back, pick up the smoke, pick up the kit.
You know, just because the desk introduced it this way, I have this experience. It's, you know, with a 2-year-old, when they get really angry, it's better just give them a timeout. Just put them somewhere else and let them cool off. That's what they should have done with all of them. Just say, listen, this is not working out. There's no talking to you now. You're obviously upset. Just everyone calm down for a minute and
take a breather, sit in the corner.
We'll talk this through in a couple of minutes, you know. Rain with a great couple of UMP kills. Guardian pretty much overextended in that position, but somehow it works out anyway. I'd say that's a bit of a risk, but seems to be working out just fine. Grenade's gonna land on Adren, and a follow-up one as well. So all good in the hood here for FaZe as they make it back to 8-9. I don't know.
That pistol round, I'm still just blown away by it. That's so phenomenal from Olofmeister. What great shots from him. That round, you could see Gambit goes for that buy of the 1 AK-47, throwing it onto Adren, because why not? He's got some of that precision aim. Couldn't get enough work done, though. I don't think that does as much economic damage as they would have liked, and obviously not enough to give them even a slight chance of winning that round.
What a ridiculous way to get started in the second half. And I think that's what I would be worried about playing its FaZe is all it takes is one person like Olofmeister to have a round like that, and the whole team gets fired up, right? All of them are going to be like, all right, well, we've got it. We're back. So now they have to worry about everybody, although Guardian gets shot down. Hobbit with a very important kill to open up the round here.
It's from underpass into window, so I'm wondering maybe Guardian did the jump peek to try and have some kind of information and just a swift response. Nico's going to pick up the AK-47. Complete mid control. This is a different style of defense. You can see FaZe not challenging for that mid. We saw Nico a lot, though. He loves fighting in this connector. And it's always great when you have one of the best players in the world to play this position, because it's an equally tricky position. One of the hardest ones to be this connector defender.
He's so good at it. Even when the smokes are down, we saw him yesterday win quite a few battles in this position, although gonna go down to the C-set 75 of Fitch. Definitely annoying now. 4 versus 3. Rain gonna be dropped, and simultaneously Carrigan goes down and leaves all of a sudden 1 versus 4. They're all very low on health, so if he could have got that first kill right away, maybe there was a chance, but I'm not sure he realizes how soft they all are, so he's just gonna be trying to back off here, and Adren is ready and waiting for him with the MAC-10 long range as well. It's gonna win the fight, so Gambit. I feel like they should have been destroyed after that pistol, but they seem completely in tune right now.
No, but look, this is something that's going to improve for FaZe over time as they get more time playing together, as they get more in tune with how Kerrigan wants to play. But look at the difference. When Gambit had lost a player, we talked a lot that round where they shifted all across the map. They took mid control as a 4-man group, and then were able to readjust over towards the A-bomb site. When Guardian goes down in window, the next fight that's taken is Nico all alone in connector. He loses that, and then all of a sudden it's Rain taking a 1-on-2 fight inside the A-bomb site all on his own. No teammates there. So there was nothing FaZe could really do at that point to get back into the round because they never had a chance to work together as a team. It was just all individual fights, and Gambit outnumbers them across the board in that sense. So that's something that we'll have to see FaZe improve on as time goes on. But also just in this matchup, they can't let that happen. This defense, you can't crumble by taking one-on-one battles in that fashion.
Kerrigan is holding alone in B. All of Meister's going to come back from Middle East for a second here. Kerrigan only has the 5-7, so it won't be easy to stay alive. Spray comes in from Olof, but not quite good enough. Kerrigan, though, oh my god, 3 kills with a 5-7, all of them headshots. That's perfect. Don't think they could have expected that. Now, Dozier and Adren, obviously a bit shell-shocked from the chaos that just ensued, and Dozier is going to get the tap in on Guardian, so that brings it back to a 2-on-2, but Nico is so close. If they go for the bomb over by the bench there's going to be a really hard time. Rain is even going to see it coming before it happens.
This is a brilliant setup, though. Nico's just going to go for the peak. Now he doesn't have to do anything. Now he can just hide here. They know exactly where the bomb is. You've got Rain supporting you as well. No reason for anyone to move, except for maybe now that this smoke has gone up. Fortunately, I think Gambit spotted that shoulder, or Adren spotted that shoulder of him coming out, but there's some good damage.
Almost takes him down. The tap comes in, but Rain able to secure the round, so I don't know. This is all over the place. This feels like it could be a very close game right now. The economy sort of low for both teams. No one's really run away with it. So at 10-9, could be all 30 rounds here.
Yeah, so it really could. Especially, we'll have to see which team finally grabs control of that money. Great round from Kerrigan, the rock in that B bomb site with the 5-7. That's dirty stuff. He saves it for FaZe. 1 AWP out in the field, and that's in Mo's hands, and that could catch them off guard. FaZe might not be expecting that, considering they just won that round. But still, behind this op, 2 AKs, but Adren and Fitch on the Tech-9 and CZ.
Nico hiding in sandwich over here, which some of the time could be a very bad position, but when they don't have any Molotovs like now, it's very hard to clean someone out of there. Rain with a good headshot taking down Fitch, and Dozier and Adren, they can't really do much to take down Nico there. Rain gonna get one more kill. Guardian with a shot on Hobbit, and they're just gonna completely fall apart in this round. Gambit, they just had so little utility, and
yeah,
didn't seem like they had the coordination either.
Yeah, it was great timing as well for FaZe, that defense. You could see, I mean, when Nico was buddied up with Rain inside that A-bomb site, that allows Rain to kind of pay a little bit more attention to connectors. So him and Guardian are essentially working together to hold that down. Works out really, really well there. All tied up at 10-10 as Gambit have nothing left in the bank. I don't even think that they can't even really half-buy, even if they wanted to. They can't even force Deagles. That would just take too much away from them. So saving this round to hopefully get AWP back in the hands of Mo into the next round. And FaZe has a pretty strong hold here on the second half. It's 4-1 so far in rounds.
It's starting to feel a little bit like Rain just wants to win this map. He's got 24 kills.
Yeah, he's been a monster, and I mean, how good has he been for FaZe, even if you go back towards the disappointing efforts they had in Cologne and at the Major. Yeah. Rain really, I mean, you can point to those 2 events and say Rain was the only one who really showed up for him, continuing after the player break as well.
A bit of a rock on that team. Score is tied up at 10-10. And in this particular round, I mean, what do you do with your guy? Are you just going to use this as like a halfway timeout? You've only got Glocks, so
you might as well. You saw Zeus do it at the Major, even though he's off the team. He taught you how it's done, running around on train with the speech, talking them through what was going to happen next. So yeah, you might as well just use it that way. I mean, it's all going to depend on what if they're going to be able to have that op on Mo. Obviously, they're working out the economy right now. I think he'll be able to afford one, maybe just underneath it, but I think it's going to start being how is this defense shaping up early on in the round? Like, where can we find our pick? Where can we find that one opening just to get the first kill? And there's been some chances. And no, just barely not enough for that AWP from Mo. I think he's about 300 short, 400 short.
So when you get into that kind of thinking where you're saying, you know, sort of where's the weakness? How can we you know, trick them out? Like, what have we seen already? Isn't there also a chance that you end up playing, you know, their game more than your own? Like, you know.
Yes, but it's about getting the opening pick, so you're not committing to a full tactic, right? Oh, this is nice. Oh, unfortunately, it blinded Hobbit as well. Olaf, that is on a weird timing, just the edge of this play between the two.
Olaf wants to de-escalate the situation. Hobbit, on the other hand, ready to take the fight, and Mo with the follow-up on Nico, who was there to help Olafmeister in the beginning. You could see the communication completely breaking down there on FaZe, just complete chaos. Olaf not sure if he should fight it or fall back, and he sort of did something in between, and then Nico wants to help him, and the result is they both go down. Guardian falling back from CT spawn just as Doja walks in to get the kill on Rain. So this is one of those rounds you just don't want to see ever again.
Right, that's great timing from Doja as well, coming out of Palace. Finds it perfectly when all the defense from A is vacated, but actually Kerrigan's got himself in the right position. If he gets 1 to 2 kills here, this could be great for the Opera to rotate over. There's one, going for the second, and he gets it. That's huge. Now Guardian in a 1-on-2 with the AWP. And there's the peak, down into a 1-on-1.
And it gets another one. That's unbelievable. Triple for him. I mean, how is the timing so good? If he's there a bit later and the bomb is already down, then they play hide and seek with him forever, and I can't believe it.
That's so sick how Kerrigan reads that coming. Great pick by Guardian. I would like to see, I'm going to have to go back and review that round to see exactly if they were just trying to get away and save, or if Kerrigan kind of heard something that indicated it, probably heard them running an underpass.
Yeah, I think he had them running again, so there was that, but that did not seem like it was going to be a round that FaZe should have even got close to winning.
No, they had no business in it, especially after that Doja kill on Rain in the A bomb site.
Yeah, that was the nail in the coffin, losing 2 in underpass and then that.
It's a shame as well, because I think Gambit, that round there helped out a little bit, but I think Gambit has the right idea of attacking mid against FaZe, because not every round has Olaf been this active on Catwalk in terms of challenging. A lot of times it's been Guardian, it's been Nico kind of isolated either in window or in connector, and you can find your picks there. They're overextended just a little bit. It's by design, but that's where they're a little bit weak perhaps. That previous round is when they pushed and they were able to get those kills, but go back to it when you have the weapons. You found some success there.
They could do some damage. It would be nice. They're already behind, and what they don't want is for the FaZe economy to just explode at this point. It's starting to get there. There's almost 10,000 on Guardians. That's a bit of an issue, but the rest are manageable at this point, so that's a great shot from Fitch. Very important here. They need a bit more, though. Adren goes down with the bomb, and Hobbit and Fitch trying to see if they can make something work in the middle. Again, every kill right now is going to be really important. If Gambit wants to make some sort of crazy comeback here, then they need to keep the economy low. Hobbit, did they not? I think they saw him earlier. They've got a pretty good idea, and he's still going to get the kill on Rain. Now they're coming for him. 7 bullets here, and oh my god, that's close. I
think Guardian's got to be careful in this one. That's the second time we've seen him drop from the underpass. Fitch just sees him standing up on that wooden beam. So he's got to be a little bit cautious. Thankfully, no real danger that round. Now we have the AWP back in Mo's hands. Full buy for the Gambit side, I think at 10 to 13. They don't have a whole lot more mistakes that they can do in this match, or in this map, excuse me.
No, they're running out of real estate here. I like the aggression from Olafmeister up on the railing. Inside of that smoke, very hard to spot if you're coming out from the T side. Let's see. Flashbang goes over. He does a bit of damage, but Fitch again gonna win that fight. He's just been very good.
I think Olaf's gonna be a little bit frustrated, wasn't able to find that timing. Nice return, the equalizer coming out of Guardian. He does get dropped to 17 in response. That's Mo from Palace who hits the leg shot, trying to take advantage of him falling back. That's quite nice. Apply some pressure in mid, and then you have the Opper poised to try and pick off the rotator. Doesn't work out, but it is great damage.
Rain eating a lot of grenade damage. Mo trying to take the blind shot through the smoke, and you can see Rain is getting a bit paranoid for good reason. Hobbit goes down in the middle, that's good. Guardian will finally fall, and nice shot for Mo to take down Nico. He was the last one defending this bomb site. Kerrigan, 1 versus 3. I don't know if this is quite worth it. Kerrigan has a miserable history of getting really close to clutching on other rounds and then not making it. This time it's not even anywhere near close. So a huge round for Gambit after losing 5 in a row. They bring it back, and FaZe, the economy is there for a bye this time, but if they lose now, we've got a real game on our hands.
Yes, losing now would be basically allowing Gambit to even things up at 13-13 more than likely. So a dangerous round as well for both teams. This has a lot of implications on how this match is going to end up. That previous round is quite nice from Gambit. It seemed like they had a great read on where everyone was playing inside of that A bomb site. Guardian's going to have mid control with the AWP, but the rest of Gambit, this time they're not having any presence here. They just want to execute towards that A bomb site. Nico and Rain are playing a retake. Nico towards top connector, Rain back at ticket booth. They won't be able to challenge very effectively once these smokes do plume. Here comes the hit. It's a little bit delayed, waiting for the counter nades. No presence whatsoever.
But with Guardian and Olofmeister that close by in the middle, they can check underpass and top it pretty quickly and then go for the retake anyway. I'm kind of happy that Adren is going back here just to show some presence, because at least if they go for the execute, he could sort of keep them occupied in middle, right?
Yeah, he turns into a lurk now, and he's going to let this execute come in. He was one of the smokes that was used earlier, and when this follow-up comes through, he'll delay just a little bit longer, and hopefully Rain's been pulled into the bomb site as well. This is a dangerous spot.
Olofmeister's going to go and check top mid while the spray is going on. Adren goes down, so that's a huge kill for Olofmeister. Now it's all on this A-bomb side, and FaZe should know it. They should realize this is it. This is where the fight is going to be. 35 seconds left, and everything rides on this Vio Gambit. And oh my god, Guardian taking down Hobbit as the smoke fades, and he's looking for another kill. The bomb has been planted, but holding on to this for Gambit is not going to be easy. Another ridiculous shot coming out of Guardian, and it's Doja and Mo left. 2 versus 4, holding on to this again. Almost can't happen. They take the shot through. It's Olofmeister, but it might as well have been Guardian there. And Mo now completely run down. He gets one. Olof to follow it up, and FaZe at 14 rounds.
Gambit missed their timing. They had it. They just didn't get into that A-bomb site while the smokes were up. They started crossing right when they were at the end of their time being deployed. Right as this is fading, and you see that's what allows Guardian to snap over towards Hobbit. This is a beautiful kill as well. Unscoping, but yeah, the underrated kill, I guess, would be Olofmeister grabbing a Dren, a little bit overeager on that flank. That's quite nice. It makes like a one front battle from there, doesn't it?
And Olofmeister goes all the way top mid to check it, right?
Yep.
That's very thorough. A lot of people would just look top mid and say, oh, there's someone there, right?
It's so smart, though, because if you're Olofmeister and you already have Guardian behind those smokes at the A-bomb site and you're blocked out, like, you have nothing to do. You're essentially just waiting for those smokes. So use that time wisely. Go clear something out. Now Kerrigan into the double op setup. Adren not expecting it. He gets brought down. FaZe in firm control here as Gambit are forced into buys every single round.
Yeah, that was their big chance. They brought FaZe to the edge of the eco. They almost had them where they wanted them. And now it's a little bit different. Mo gets the spray on one, but he can't follow it up. It looked like Guardian was in the path there, but he just survives and takes down Doja as well. Guardian has truly come alive now, and that has got to be terrifying for Gambit. They were having a hard enough time dealing with Rain, who just goes down to Hobbit. 2 versus 3. Got 50 seconds, though.
Guardian's been sick in these past few rounds. He's been a monster with everything that he's done, and actually it's great because I'm not too convinced by this connector defense we've seen out of FaZe in this half. I don't think it's been all that solid, but Guardian's definitely there to shore things up when it does falter. And now a decision needs to be made by Gambit, and they're going to split up. Fitch is going to come up catwalk. Hobbit going to go into B tunnels. It's Kerrigan and Olofmeister nearby.
And Hobbit is making a bit of noise, which is actually drawing Kerrigan back and allowing Fitch to get in here, but it is not enough. Olofmeister was there, and now Hobbit in a lot of trouble. Goes for the spray and does the significant amount of damage, but doesn't change the fact that it's a 1 versus 3 right now, and he's only got 10 seconds, so he's got to get this kill, and actually will get it on Kerrigan. Goes for the bomb plant, and Guardian and Olofmeister are coming in. Hobbit now would be a great time, but he's going to get shut down by Guardian instead to bring 15 rounds to FaZe here. Another triple kill for Guardian. He's at 21, just behind Rain at 26.
Rain's been stuck on 26 for some time, but he had a great start to this game. Obviously, still a phenomenal effort out of him, but yeah, Guardian here in mid, just dictating everything. They almost got sprayed down, double sprayed by Mo in that position. That could have been very, very deadly. And obviously, you can see again, Gambit, a cool idea. Some of that pressure in mid, and they have Doja this time up in Palace, who's just trying to pick off that player coming out in connector. So that's kind of one of the ideas they have at the moment to get a pick off, to kind of trap that player in connector to make him feel like he can't fall back either. Hasn't worked out the way they would have liked it, but it's a nice idea.
A bit of a shame here for Gambit as what might be the last round. They have almost nothing to fight it with. Nico's already taken 1 kill, and surely going to be a second. Rain with 1 as well. Nico finally goes down. but you have to think it's too late here. Doja, almost no health. He gets dropped by Guardian. It's 16-11 in favor of Na'Vi for the first map in this best of 3. Gambit, I mean, they had the opportunities. I think they could have at least brought this to all 30 rounds and maybe even turned it around. The economy at the end making a big difference.
Yeah, that 13-11 round was huge. If we were able to win that one, then we could have seen something down to the wire. But nice performance from FaZe. A little bit shaky on certain aspects of the game on both sides of the map, but they do just enough. It was Rain who brings him to the finish line, and then who better but Guardian to close it out with that AWP right at the end. So very, very good stuff. And obviously, it's just fun to keep track of these teams and to watch these teams as the roster changes kind of progress.
Yeah, very interesting game. I think you're right, though. In a couple of months, this FaZe team is going to be much better put together.
Yeah, skyrocket a little bit.
Yeah, because you can sort of... it's almost like... It is interesting. That's a good time to be following them, especially I think FaZe already have like a lot of fans, right?
Yep.
So, if you're new to watching them, then now is a good time because you're going to learn all the mistakes and you're probably going to see them disappear over time.
And just individually, they have some of the most exciting players to watch. Guardian, Nico, even Rain. He doesn't have like the sexiest play style, but like he's always playing very, very well, very smart, fundamentally very sound. And then obviously Olaf Meister.
Yeah, what a team. See what they can do if they can do just as well in the second map. That's going to be coming up right after the break. Stay with us.